Hello, my name is Joseph Campos. I'm going to be doing a report on the fire at the Station Nightclub. This fire took place in Warwick County, Rhode Island. Trucks 136 and engine 17 arrived on scene. Fire took place on February 20th, 2003. The Station Nightclub fire started in Warwick, Rhode Island. It started on the south end of the building, right above the stage where the band The Great White was playing. It started because of illegal pyrotechnic fire, which caught the ceiling on fire, which was out of a non-fire rated or fireproofed polyurethane board. It was used for soundproofing. This material was used because the fireproof material that was supposed to be in the overhead was twice as much as the owner wanted to play, so he wanted to buy the cheaper stuff, which was not approved. The building was a single-story wood frame building. It was built in 1946. It had several different owners and several different renovations. It was 4,500 square feet. There was a total of 4 exits to this building. One was the main entrance was in the north side of the building. The second entrance was on the west side of the building. The third entrance was on the east side of the building. And there was an exit in the kitchen, but only the employees and faculty would have known about this exit. There was also several windows, 2 huge windows on the sides of the doors to the main entrance, and there were several little windows by the bar. 100 people were killed in this fire and 200 were injured. The fire started early in the night. The band Great White was playing. 30 seconds into their show, they had pyrotechnics going off, which the heat from the pyrotechnics and the spark had caught fire to the polyurethane soundproofing board, which eventually caught fire to the wood housing that held the board in place. And then once fire needed more fuel, it burned to the wood frame. This building, due to the construction, did not need sprinklers. The ordinance that was in place prior to that was in 2003, said that any new construction needed fire sprinklers, but anything older than 2003 did not need fire sprinklers. There was extinguishers inside the building. However, the extinguishers were not placed in convenience for people to use them. Even if they were placed in convenience, people who would have used them wouldn't have knocked down the fire any bit. It would have been a lost cause. The occupancy load for that night was 20 to 40 people over the limit. The load that night was anywhere from 440 to 460 when the original load should have been 420 people. The main entrance on the north side of the building appeared to be double doors from the outside, but on the inside there was only one door that opened to go out, which 55 to 66% of the people leaving the building try to use this door, and it caused a crowded doorway and a traffic jam. The door on the west side opened inward, which was noted on the fire report before that the owner of the building should have corrected it, but he never went through re-inspection. The door on the east, a man stated that the door wasn't opening easily. It had panic hardware, so it was either malfunctioning panic hardware, faulty installation of the panic hardware, or an operator error. The door in the kitchen, the faculty was the only people who knew about that, so they were the ones that left through the kitchen. 1/3 of the personnel that evacuated the scene safely had left through the windows by the bar. The first arriving department on scene arrived less than 5 minutes after the 911 call. All medical transports were completed within 2 hours of the fire starting. On the inside of the building, there was no illumination for the exits for the building, which caused people not to know where the exits are, and traffic jams. This was also noted on the fire report and was supposed to be corrected. However, the owner of the building did not go through the reinspection. The pyrotechnic installation was illegal. The owner had discussed that between him and the band, and he allowed it. Soundproofing foam was not approved, and it was not anywhere in his paperwork, and it wasn't filed with the state or the city. One agent showed up and only had 3 firefighters, and the crowd had hampered with the IC's control of the overall scene due to crowd collecting in the parking lot where they were stationed at. It also interfered with his communications with the other firefighters. The ordinance that changed was the International Building Code made a revision to require that automatic sprinklers be installed in all occupancies A2, which is restaurants and nightclubs, with more than 100 personnel, whether old construction or new construction. So all the buildings in Rhode Island now have sprinkler systems for anybody over 100 personnel, and it's an assembly. Recommendations were made to the National Institute of Standards and Technology. Prohibition of non-fire retardant polyurethane foam and other ignitable materials should not be used inside these buildings, and but that is not approved yet. They're still revising that. However, it is recommended to use fire retardant materials, and the use of pyrotechnics should and will be strongly monitored inside Rhode Island, and they're stated in all the fire reports. The info that was stated to you was gathered from the Fire Protection Engineering Magazine.com and the University of Cincinnati.edu. Thank you. Bye.